Wow, that is quite the tower you built there. That's pretty cool. Can you tell me about it? You don't want to tell me about it? Okay.
Isn't it so fancy?
It is super fancy. Did the government give you any money or give you any help to build it?
No, I built it myself.
You built it yourself?
Uh-huh.
Did you get any money from the government?
Well, they gave me $100.
They gave you $100.
Uh-huh.
How much did it cost to build?
$10.
Wait, so you pocketed 90?
And 90?
Did you build this in Detroit?
Yes.
Live from downtown Detroit, it's No BS News Hour with my main man, Scotty
Na. No bullshit! It's just a breaking news. No more bullshit. No more bullshit.
Hello, neighbors. It's a lovely day in the neighborhood. Fucking us all again. You know what Grandma Betty once said. When your neighbor's bad to him, to you, to your family, to your daughter, you just turn the other cheek. That's what you do. And if they fuck you again, the good Lord didn't say what to do. I got breaking news.
Uh-oh. Oh, nothing wants to work today.
Fuck, Mark.
Oh my God. Thank you, Rod. That was much better.
Update on the mass shooting in Lansing, Michigan. And why do we do this? Every week we got a mass shooting. All right. But our young people were shot, and we know, do we not, that the neighbors said the police have been out there multiple times
Yes.
because the man was shooting off his porch.
Exactly what I heard.
Can I get an amen or something?
Amen.
Thank you, neighbor.
Amen.
Thank you, neighbor. Well, you know, we released some tape Monday. Kind of curious. Welfare check at the home. The old man's found all pummeled on the ground. The son was there. So somebody made the call to...
911.
Yeah, who was that? Exactly. How come they won't say? So, we know the police have been out there. You know that I asked for well over a month and a half now for more specificity. Did the Lansing police ever respond in that neighborhood to a disturbance, to some shots? Did they have any contact with the homicidal maniac? Was there a chance, had we done police work right, that some people would be alive today? Am I right here?
I totally agree.
I mean, how many gun laws you want to come up with when you got gun laws? I'm not against gun laws. Gun owner, not against gun laws. Background check, don't hear me complaining. I cross my fingers when I do a background check. What I do now.
And don't remember.
I went on the government website and registered to come into the United States over the app. I wonder if that's going to cost me. We'll get to that later. I got my answer. Freedom of information. This letter's in response to your freedom of information request. Quoting 911 calls I asked for. I request all records for all calls for service, including but not limited to the computer-assisted dispatch notes from January 2019 to present for the following streets and avenues: East Howe, East Jackson, Creston, Chilson, Bates, Cedar, Paulson, Community, Harris, and Gary Avenue. Everything in the vicinity. I talked to the FOIA coordinator, and she says Cedar is really long, goes all the way across Lansing. She goes, you mean in the vicinity of the house? I said, exactly. So we have an understanding of what I'm looking for, okay? Also, I admit 4 years might be a little much, but okay, we can try 2 years, right? Anyway, here's what we're saying. The costs for that will be $14,618.50.
Oh my God.
$14,618.50. And there's some good news in this. You only have to give me a down payment for $7,309.25. So there's a little reprieve there. Moreover, we will require 4.5 months to compile this. What? 4.5 months. Okay, so in the wake of the shooting, we've got every swinging dick out there, press conferences, live streams, right?
Politicians, share.
Costing lots of money. 14 grand?
I want to know how much ink and paper they got to use. Is it that many 911 calls?
If you're going to try to be funny, then be funny.
Hey, that was funny.
But isn't everything electronic at this point? And wouldn't they be able to cross-reference and put a filter in and be able to extract that information?
Thank you. You know what they said? We got about
guessing.
2,000 calls. Okay, how long does that take? $7.50 a call? All right, tell you what, I'm going to go out of pocket again, get back to my lawyer, get this thing whittled down. I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to write down every address. Do you see how gross this is? How much money Whitmer and Duggan are throwing around to rich people, and we want an answer about our children and about our police?
Well, the lack of urgency too. They said it would take that long. That's incredible that it would even take. You think they might want to be on top of it?
I smell
That's
something.
a stall tactic.
That's
Those
what I
are
was
stall
gonna say.
tactics.
And what are they
Yep.
stalling about? Karen's actually done this for a living.
Stalled.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. The fucking media came on. Dad hit him with the $14,649.25.
Then it got me at $40.25. It costs this much to get some information. You can have it.
It's just a matter of how badly do you want it. So we're going to make you wait, and we're going to make you pay. And if in fact you will pay and wait, then maybe we'll get it. But probably you'll forget about it or abandon the thought of trying to get it.
And I must say, in the memory, and I apologize if anybody is a loved one of anybody injured or murdered. I'm only saying this in the rightest way. The authorities, you can go fuck yourself. I find us to be the deepest outrage, especially in light of what happened in Nashville and what's going to happen next week, that you would treat us like this. This isn't from me. We want to know, and by the way, I'm starting to get the snowball. Oh, you want to know about 911 in Lansing? Well, yeah, I do.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I do. And I'm starting to see it. I asked you, and it's a clause, madam, that you waive all fees because this is of high public interest. I'm all the good people of this state, all my brothers and sisters and my nieces and nephews. This is for a better society. This isn't for splash. We just know you're driving around, and we're trying to keep you hanging out because we got more breaking news. But this is deep.
I mean, it's real deep because it shows that the machine is now came up with this way to keep from giving us information, and it's basically outprice it, make it too costly, make it too long. Either you're gonna forget about it or you're gonna give up, and that's not how it's supposed to work.
But this is also about accountability. I mean, Charlie's not asking for anything that he, as a resident and a member of the media, is not entitled to. I mean, so it's not like it should be a secret, and all that information should be readily accessible at the click of a few buttons.
And you would think that they would have done this already.
Yeah.
But it's not exactly germane to the events. You know what I'm saying? This is now looking at how you're running a department. And it's almost gross to think about people younger than me, right? Because I'm getting up there now. That this is a political matter, and it's hide your ass. Because now I fully believe it's hide your ass. Because the 14,000, you don't think I can get the 14,000? I can get it by earning it. I don't even have to go into politics. I could get that tomorrow because I know everybody in this state will pony up a penny.
Yep.
for some truth.
In a minute.
Yeah.
But doing this?
Yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool at all.
Oh, it's beyond not cool. I don't even. I don't want to get ahead of myself on this, but there's something real wrong here.
I, in my opinion, feel that they really don't want to have to go into detail with it, not just you, us, or the public, with themselves of how bad things are being ran.
But nobody else is asking these questions. That's the other thing. I mean, that's something else people need to look at. Not only do they not want to respond or answer Charlie's inquiries, nobody else is asking these questions. Nobody else is trying to connect the dots to see what they are interpreting as potential liability. That's the only reason why they're pushing back.
Let's do this. Okay, so instead of 19, I picked 2019. That's when he got picked up on the weapons charge. Because I want to know if he was actually shooting when he was on a weapons charge. Because I'm not stupid enough to overlook that. Right?
Right.
The guy's on probation. Was he doing the weapon? Okay.
Right.
So let's say I do it to 2 years. What's that? $7,500 now. Okay, and that's only 2.25 months. Okay, and if I go write down every address, what is that? $3,500 and 2 months? Is this what you're telling me? Because watch this, Lansing. You don't think I know chiefs of police? You don't think I know how easy it is to get this stuff and the reason you won't give it? Do you think I'm not talking to law enforcement? Do you think law enforcement thinks your behavior is outrageous? Because it is. Because the country's fucking hurting and they're dying. And if there's one thing that we can do, it's how do our public servants behave? And we're not out there to hang anybody out to dry. Because it always goes at the top. So don't think it's rank and file.
The people just want to know the truth. People want to know that the people that we put in place.
People want to answer, dude.
And
Not
an
just
answer.
the truth,
Right.
but the answer arrives from the fucking truth.
Right.
Sorry.
No.
You were going to say something funny.
No.
Are you sure about that?
I didn't. I fucking smoked weed again.
Wait, you mean that guy? That doesn't look like
No,
a...
it may be the toothache I have. It ain't got nothing to do with a little piece
You
of
have a
joint.
tooth tech?
Yes.
Let me look.
Oh, boy.
No, it's nothing you can do with this, and you're not a licensed. Then I'm not about to.
Just look. I tell you if there's something fucked up.
It's an
What is
access up
happening?
here.
It's
I have.
an access. Did you say?
The assets.
I said abscessed. I did not say asset.
Did you just say abscessed?
Yes, I did.
Okay, let me look.
No, what for what?
Because it's swollen, dude, and you could die.
Okay, well, if I die,
Well, let me
let it
look.
happen on the show,
Let
and
me
we
look.
get better ratings.
Let me look. Open it.
No, no, I'm not doing that. No. You got shit, more important shit to talk about.
I didn't see a fucking tooth in that head.
They all in my
What is wrong
pocket.
with
Fuck
you all?
Because if you don't laugh, you're gonna cry. That's why we got the funny man on. We got
He's in
breaking.
pain, Charlie.
Yeah.
He's in pain.
We're coming, Lansing. You're gonna answer that. We have more breaking news. Donald Trump has been indicted. Now, Trump paid a porn queen to keep quiet. He's admitted as much, but he denies the affair ever happened. So by this twist of logic, the Don paid $130,000 to a liar to keep quiet about a lie in the run-up to the 2016 election. His disclaimer is insulting. I'm not a fan of the guy, but now he's been charged by the Manhattan District Attorney and the grand jury. Those charges not only stretch the outer limits of credulity, but they will irreparably damage the institution of the presidency. You blame who you want, but that's what's going to happen. The charges expose a yawning double standard in the application of campaign finance law once Trump's salacious details are removed. Now, the short argument from the grand jury in Manhattan goes something like this. Trump made the payment, then falsely claimed it as a legal expense, and faking business records is a crime in New York. The jury didn't seem to mind that the statute of limitations had expired. DA Alvin Bragg supercharged that misdemeanor by linking it to another crime, thus creating a felony. The second crime, campaign finance violation. The tortured Manhattan logic here is that the hush money payment was intended to help Trump's presidential campaign and thus should have been recorded in those filings. Never mind that Trump was running for a federal office, not statewide in New York, and never mind the precedent this sets that anything that's beneficial to you if you're running for public office as a decent person can now be held against you. Not that that's what Trump was doing. I'm just saying. They say a grand jury can indict a ham sandwich, and in Manhattan this evening, they did, along with a sidecar of Bloody Marys, which brings me to the double standard here in Michigan, where we choose to indict a slice of pizza and a can of Pabst. Remember Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer and her infamous airplane rides? 2 years ago, Gretch convinced some local businessmen in the height of the pandemic to let her fly unvaxxed on a private jet to Florida to visit her sick daddy. Never mind that Michigan had a death rate 250% higher than Florida, or that the governor told us not to go to Florida at all. She never offered to reimburse the businessmen until I caught her. Then, 2 months later, after that trip, Whitmer's camp claimed to the IRS, no less, that it was a charity trip paid for by her 501c4. That's the type of slush fund that helped send Kwame Kilpatrick to prison. When that was exposed as being illegal, Whitmer's handlers foisted the cost of the jet onto her campaign fund, claiming it was part of doing business as governor. But what official business did she conduct? Whitmer never said. There were no expenses filed with the trip. No calendar was ever released. Whitmer only said that she went to West Palm Beach to cook meals for her sick daddy and hang out on the beach with her spring breaking college daughters. Then we started digging some more. And wouldn't you know it, more covert plane rides emerged from the fog of Whitmer's political financial swamp. The cost of those trips, too, were funneled to the campaign account. It doesn't appear that Whitmer was ever going to pay for her free plane rides, an apparent violation of state campaign laws and the public's trust. And by the way, whoever had the airplane, and I know who had the airplane, you're not allowed to charge anyway. So where are the checks? Who took them? They can't take a nickel for it. You see the parallels? State filings, federal filings, campaign accounts, funny money. Trimp.
Trump.
We gonna call him Trim now.
President Trump.
I'm gonna call him Trimp. Trim. Trimp and his stripper make for better headlines, but both he and Whitmer played fast and loose with the law, and both are guilty of gaslighting we the public. Trimp tells whoppers and expects us to believe him. Whitmer's never offered a good explanation at all. And during her re-election campaign last year, she was never even asked the question, even though Planegate consumed her administration for an entire month. Now Trimp has been indicted. So in the spirit of equality and equal justice for all, someone ought to take a second look at Whitmer. After all, what's good for the goose is good for the Michigander. This is where you say stuff so we don't got dead silence.
Yeah, I was about to say, I just think they've given Trump a whole lot of free campaign advertising.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, honestly, you think something going to come of this indictment?
Nope.
Mark has an idea. What is that?
What's going to come from
Because
the
you went like
indictment?
this. If you just get it close. I'm going to show
On
you.
you?
I'm going to show how you do it.
Hang on.
This is how you do it. You go like this.
No, but within that rant, I think the interesting thing is how many times she's moved where that money came from or where it was supposed to come from. You know, kind of trying to get ahead of, oh, if this is illegal, then maybe this isn't. And if this is, well, then that's illegal, so maybe I should do this. I mean, it's just the bouncing ball keeps moving.
Yep.
So, you know, if somebody's being evasive like that, it's like they know they did wrong.
Yeah.
So own up to it.
you know-
Someone ask her.
But politicians, if I dare may say, I mean, if you're going to be a criminal, take some points from street criminals. don't pay in checks. If you're going to pay somebody illegally, pay them in cash. You don't want to create a track. You don't want to create a track record or a paper trail.
A Trump record? Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
just
trip.
saying.
Here's what you do when you trip: you pay him in lobster and fur coats.
So when you trick Trump, don't pay by check.
But it's even dumber than
Yeah,
that. He could have just paid by check from his own personal bank account, and it's not an issue at all. It's not. It's just an NDA. But instead of
Who would
funneling
pay
it
for
through
a
Michael
hooker
Cohen.
with a check?
No,
Who
I
would
know.
pay
That's
a hooker
dumb.
with a check? That makes no sense.
High class.
First of all, I don't remember the last time I was in a strip club. The strippers took a check. She normally wants cash, even if it's the kind that hurts her.
Not your check, dude, because right
It'll bounce.
next to the if you were bored on this date before 2001, you get to drink, and the sign next to that is do not take fucking checks from this guy.
What a mess.
What a mess. It's gonna fuck the whole country up, man. Oh.
Yeah, I gotta admit though, I'm kind of entertained by the whole circus of it. I was wearing very thin at the end of his presidency because there was a ridiculous story every single day, and I wanted a boring president. I never thought he would be this incredibly bad and boring. Yeah. And now I'm kind of enjoying the Trump circus again. I'll admit it.
What?
But that's what it is. It's a distraction. I mean, and that's exactly what it is. So let's just pay attention to what else is happening that we're not being told about that probably impacts us and has more importance than Donald Trump being indicted.
Oh, I have such news. Breaking news. Breaking news.
Do 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 do.
The southern border is out of fucking control. Out of control. Now, a Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, gave some testimony to a Senate Oversight Committee. Who is this?
Josh Hawley,
Yeah,
senator from Missouri.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're questioning about you all will remember the app. Remember the app in January when record numbers are flowing over the border?
Yeah.
200 people on the terror watch list, the first of which we reported, of course. And how you doing? I hope you're enjoying Dearborn. It's great. Nobody gives a fuck. Great.
That did just disappear.
Terrific. Right? So he created an app. And what they're trying to do was the most people coming over were Haitians, Cubans, Venezuelans, and Nicaraguans. And Venezuela and Nicaragua won't even take their people back. Just fuck you. We're not taking them back. Don't matter who they are. Empty out the prison. Like, your problem, Mexico, your problem, United States.
No return.
So they came up with an app. An app. Never mind going through the proper channels and stuff. All you got to do is download it and then put in your stuff, and we'll have you come to the border, and if we deem you to be in dire need, we're gonna wave you in. Except, I know this today. Nicaraguans, Cubans, Haitians, and Venezuelans aren't allowed to use the app. The one that they sold to us on January 5th, like, you use the app and stop bum rushing or we'll deport you. They don't even get to use it. They have to get a sponsor in the United States to file paperwork. The app is for everyone else. Should we hear a little bit of the
back and forth.
little back and forth between
Hawley and Mayorkas.
Thank you.
January of this year, you rolled out a new phone app called CBP One, an app for a cell phone. I've got a picture of it behind me here. This phone app allows, and I'm going to quote from your own fact sheet, it allows, and I quote, non-citizens without appropriate documents for admission to schedule an appointment to come to the border. They can now go on their phone and schedule a time to come to the border and then be admitted. And you identified 7 separate border points of entry where they could come. 5 of them in Texas, 2 of them in California, 1 in Arizona. It's like a concierge service for illegal immigrants. My question is, you didn't think the border crisis was bad enough that now we're going to have an app that allows illegals to schedule their appointments and come and be admitted to this country?
Senator, you're mischaracterizing the use of the application. Let me explain it to you. We are currently enforcing the public health order of Title 42, and I know you're very familiar with it. There is a process for individuals who claim an exception to the Title 42 expulsion authority because of an acute medical condition.
Well, let's talk about this
urgent,
app.
If I may finish, an urgent humanitarian reason. So instead of them coming in between the ports of entry to claim that urgent medical condition, that extraordinarily acute humanitarian cause, we allow a limited number to arrive at our ports of entry and seek the emergency relief that they need.
Schedule, you allow them, let's be particular about what
And I
you do.
should say that the CBP One app was not unveiled for the first time on January 5th of this year.
Oh, no, but you changed it. You made it available on January 5th to the illegals themselves. You don't have to be a lawyer to use it. You don't have to be a member of a non-governmental organization. Anybody can download the app and use it on their phone. And for the first time, you allowed them to schedule appointments. Now, let's talk about what actually happens when they come to the border. It's interesting. You characterized this when you rolled it out as an application for applying for asylum. But nowhere on the app do you actually require the illegal migrants to apply for asylum or to claim asylum or anything about asylum. And in fact, when they then get to the border, you don't ask them questions, you don't do interviews, you just release them. Here's the Texas Monthly, not a notable conservative outlet, who reports, and I quote, "At no point does the app ask users, are you seeking asylum? Those arriving for the CBP One appointments are given no interviews, asked no questions about vulnerabilities that they may or may not have listed in the app or about why they're coming to the United States. They're simply released into the country," end quote. So rather than building a wall, Mr. Secretary, you have built Ticketmaster for illegal immigrants.
And this ain't even the best show on earth right now.
Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, I downloaded.
Is it free?
It's free.
Shouldn't we charge 99 cents
It's
back
really,
to the government?
it's really junky. It's like 3 stars.
Okay.
I mean, there's more than 1 million downloads, and
It's only got 3 stars.
these refugees are mad because it doesn't work. So it's got over 1 million downloads, which should tell you something. Now, here's what I did: is I went in, I gave him my email, I gave him my name,
Yeah.
Mike Hunt. They needed a picture. My dog. Okay. And here's what they asked me. The vulnerability criteria. Do you have a physical or mental illness? Disability? Pregnancy? No access to safe housing in Mexico? You're under the age of 21? You're over the age of 70? Or you've been threatened or harmed while in Mexico? That's it. No question at all about asylum, how you were treated in a home. Did you face violence? Was there a political hit group after you? None of that.
I would say, do we want to take the mentally ill from Mexico? We got enough of our own right here.
Well, you're a racist, man.
How's that? I can't stop nobody from doing anything.
Man, just because he's mentally ill brown guy.
Not at all. We just got enough of our own.
So the administration likes to do that. I like to do math. Last year, more or less, last February, you have to do year to year like you do inflation because different things happen at different times of the year. There were 150,000 people apprehended at the border. It was a record for a February.
That was last year.
Yeah. This year, they're crowing. We're down from 250,000, which was December, which was a record. December's always the record. You don't compare February to December. You compare February to February,
yeah.
right?
Right.
So last year was 150,000. So far this year, 130,000 detained at the border, and another 26,000 that we can measure were waved through. It's the same number.
Yeah.
And we don't have the number of how many people you actually gave the appointment to and brought through.
On the app, because the app don't work.
Now, my liberal friends, my conservative friends, calm down. My liberal friends, what does this mean? This means that the Biden administration is incompetent, that it sent a signal to the world's hungry and poor that we're open for business. When the business became funny business, they reverted back to Trump. Point one. Have you seen one single report about our detention facilities in the state of these squalid cattle pens? No. Did you see the video of the people that we pushed out, Title 42, the COVID rules, which will expire in 6 weeks? So I told you, remember I went to the border. There are tens and tens and hundreds of thousands of people encouraged to come waiting. Some can't wait. Last night in El Paso, 1,000 people bum rushed. I don't know about you. I want to vet everybody. But I understand when you're destitute, when you're sleeping in the streets of Mexico with a tattered blanket, you ran out of money, you're pregnant, you got a 5-year-old, you're desperate, I would do it. But I don't expect my government to encourage a human calamity. When we sent the people back, once you've been deported and you're in that computer, you can't come back in. So now the Mexicans are taking them. They don't want them. They're starting to deport them. But they were in a holding facility in Juarez across from El Paso 2 days ago. It caught on fire and 39 people died. You cannot tell me this does not bother your conscience. And you cannot tell me if this happened under the Trump administration that you would be silent. We must speak. And here's some video released from that facility. Don't play it yet. If you're listening, I recommend that you come find us online, Facebook, YouTube, all of that. It's there. This is the videotape where you're looking at the Mexican officials who know that the jailhouse is on fire, cavalierly walking around, checking their cell phones, and leaving while human beings die. You can see the flames in the left there. Can you see that? Yeah. It's starting to rip through the jailhouse. Do you see the men banging on the bars? Let us out.
Trying to get out.
See the man checking his cell phone?
Yeah.
They leave.
And they leave them in there.
These human beings are going crazy. Look at that. Oh, my God. How could you?
I don't know how you can do that.
That's
God.
murder.
They're being charged with murder as I read, not our original reporting. That's murder. And that's
it is.
That's what's going on. And you don't know it because everybody watches TV and everybody's so college educated that just the real life shit, the smell of people, what hunger means, when somebody shivering comes out of the Rio and they're from Havana and they're real cool and they're smiling and they're dreaming of Miami and they just want a cigarette. And Border Patrol going to beat my ass if I give them a cigarette. I gave them the whole fucking pack. And I wish them good luck. But this is bad policy. Yeah. And for everybody to be divided doesn't help anybody in this world.
Not at all. I just really don't see what they expect to accomplish with this. I mean, it's no wall, there's no nothing. You're giving them an app that don't even work. What you expect them to do? They won't end. It's putting stress on the Border Patrol, too, I would feel. I mean, they
Stop
already
encouraging them.
Yeah.
Set up a program in their home country where it's a lottery. Right? Again, I want to say it again. Justin Trudeau, who very well pretends he's a liberal, welcomes Canada with open arms. The whole world can come. We're a welcoming nation until you get 40,000 people from the United States. And they quietly, for years, have been muscling the United States to take everybody back. Safe, third country, right? You're from one country. You're coming to my country, but there was a third one you landed in first. Apply there. So we've agreed to it. Why aren't we asking Mexico to do it? Because Mexico will stop letting Guatemala do it. Guatemala will stop letting Ecuador do it. Ecuador will stop letting the Chinese come in.
quit letting them move up the board without no kind of stop. They're going to head for go.
But why is being right, being fair, and just doing the right thing, why is that so difficult? I mean, just across the board. Why is it so hard?
I just don't think people know what fair is. I think our lives in America have just become infotainment and so few
Yeah.
of us are even
Yeah, I mean,
curious.
Yeah.
But
I was just saying
watching people doing things that are inhumane, doing things that are not in the best interest of just basic human compassion, not connecting people to available resources that make sense without complicating it with more process. That's not brain surgery.
Did I bring up Lansing? Is
There
this
you
like
go.
at every level of everything?
It's like the new phase of all politics. Hide it, ignore it, or overcharge to get the real information about it.
Don't you start going political, because then we got fucking Derek over in
That's right.
fucking Windsor,
My bad, there.
right? Telling us, and that's too much politics.
Oh, really?
More Reddit than Normandy. Hey, Derek, motherfucker, I don't tell you how to put out fires. Tell us how to do this. It's not easy being smart and right all the time.
You sound like a politician.
Oh my God, did you see Slotkin? She's doing her gun
Oh,
control.
wow, yeah.
Well, they're giving her a cakewalk.
Make no mistake about it. Don't they push her forward because they know she's running for the Senate seat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why she's the one pushing that bill.
She sits
Now,
on some
granted, there's Michigan
powerful
State and
committees.
Oxford, so I understand that, but still.
Man, she used to be on Homeland Security.
Yeah.
I never knew her to go to the border.
Nope.
Now she's on Intel or something. Come the fuck on. Hold some people to account, media. For God's sake. Dinos. Democrats in name only. It's mine. It's mine. We need T-shirts. What's up with the T-shirts?
That's crazy. I don't know.
Whose fucking garage are these T-shirts in?
Trudy's. Not mine. That's what I know.
She could at least wear one.
I still don't even have a T-shirt, and I offered to pay for it. I don't have a T-shirt.
We'll fix it in post.
What, making T-shirts?
Getting Karen a T-shirt that I promised her 2
years ago.
What a dump.
I'm just going to shrink mine and give it to you, Karen.
Dump. Turn it off. Okay, nobody
I'll
share.
tie it around my waist.
What's that?
I said I'll tie it around my waist. I'll wear it large.
Yeah, it'll be a nightgown.
Where'd Charlie go?
He's
Did
right
he
here.
abandon
No,
us?
he's fine.
I was over there having a drink of beer and imagining you in a nightgown.
He was feeding the fish, like Fred Rogers.
Like Tony fucking Soprano.
There you go. Yeah, that way. Yeah.
Feed the fucking fish over here. Now, speaking of why can't we do anything? Let's just let's wrap this up because I'm gonna be doing my BFF on Monday. I'm going to New York again, do Cuomo.
Oh.
So we're gonna let Karen and Red get deeper into this on Monday. But this damned District Detroit bullshit passed again. We just handed billionaires millions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just leaving that in case anybody's got anything to say before I get into it.
Well, you know, they were supposed to vote last Tuesday, and then they decided we need more public feedback on this.
You mean they hit it?
They hit it for a week. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been following the story. I had no idea they were going to vote this past Tuesday. You're telling me
But that's the point.
a week is enough time for more public input?
But that's the plan. That's the strategy, and that's actually what my upcoming column is about. I mean, it's the same thing. The MO is to pretend like public input and opinion matter, and it doesn't. Because if you heard council members when after their vote, they all gave some really weak attempt at justifying their yes votes. It was absolutely insulting. But this is what they do. And usually if it's something, you know, they talk about and they bring it back as a line item and approve it so quietly, this time everybody was just paying attention and you don't even know what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, that council's so dumb that the male members of it got to be naked to count to 21. They don't know a goddamn thing about a number.
I don't think I'm not surprised it passed. You knew it was always going to pass, but
Okay, so then we just jump into okay, now we just are so fond around here doing race talk, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the rich white man. Oh, the fucking contractor won't hire the black man. Oh, look, this is your representatives, your city council. They're all in the bag together, and they've got you fucking around. And some people out there believe like this gonna make us money. I can give you the money right now. Simple. Mark goes, be careful of numbers. When I first went into TV, they're like, be careful of numbers. I'm like, people get numbers.
oh yeah.
Like 20 million minus 10 million is not 0 million. Again, 20 million minus 10 million is not 0 million. You just do it twice. That'd be 10 million.
Okay.
Even your daughter, no. Your daughter does good Detroit math.
Yeah.
Right.
I built it for $10. They gave me $100.
That summed it all up right there.
Hey, right. That was like the best 2-minute piece. Even the child
Unprompted
gets it.
too. Yeah.
Even she gets it. So how come these grown adults can't
Because
get
they're
it?
getting something too. That's why it's their job, and they're getting donations, and it's such a racket. It's a fucking.
And you know,
racket.
Mark, man, he spends a lot of time worrying about his babies. He really does. And brother, I'm here to tell you right now, no matter what happens, there's always work for her in Lansing.
Right.
He's got it all figured out, Mark.
Yeah, I know.
All you gotta do is send her to Michigan State.
Fine.
Hey.
I don't care. I don't want her to go there, but I don't care.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Well, I'm a Wolverine. You know that. I'm
No.
I'm joking. Wherever they go is fine.
It's good to be a Michigan Wolverine. That's right. It's good to be. Oh, it's my old cheerleader coming out. That's so embarrassing.
No, it's not.
Did you like that?
It is very good.
Look at that. National champs. It's a big thing now.
What?
Cheerleading.
You mean it
What,
wasn't?
male cheerleading?
You get college to college,
Well,
scholarships to
who do
college
you
now.
think's doing all the double backflips?
Yeah. No, it's athletic. I mean, I wish
Don't
there was
do
a,
one, Charlie.
I wish there was a ball.
Don't
or-
do it.
Oh, I'm not
Puck.
doing one. No.
Don't do it. I saw you do one with your interview with Harbaugh. Don't do it.
Hey, regarding District Detroit, do you think the public would be more on board if he actually spent some money on his baseball team and gave a shit about that? I mean, I'm being somewhat serious.
I think that people would be more on board if they actually would know they're getting something out the deal instead of just paying for another wish.
Well, I think that the first thing is that they did not fulfill their commitment in the first development
that's
deal.
huge.
I
You're
think
right.
that's the first thing. The second thing is that all of the language is intentional, but they're not obligated. There's a lot of, ambiguous language in there. And if you listen closely, they're not bound to any of it. So it comes down to whether they want to or not. There's no accountability in that agreement.
Breaking news, financial breakdown.
Oh, okay.
This is... All right, all you wise guys. Did the work here. All right. $1.5 billion. $818 million of which will be paid for by the city. I know what you're saying. Those will be taxes generated by the new development. Okay. But let's just break it down. So in order to make a 4% profit, they say if we don't get the public credits, we only get 2% profit. But we want a 4% profit. That means everything we give them goes right into their pocket. Think about that. Now, if you take this deal, $1.5 billion over 35 years, you're talking about $45 million a year. They got $42 million a year. They got to make to break even. The deal is we give them $25 million. $25 million. So why is it double the size? Why isn't it half the size? Why can't mid-sized development come in and actually pay for the police or the ambulance or the fire? Why do competitors of the mega projects have their taxes go up here in the downtown Detroit Authority? In this downtown area, small business people get their property taxes raised in order to pay for these. It's the small stuff, the $50 million forgivable loan. It's called the tax incremental financing. That means they raise everybody's taxes down here with the expectation that your values go up because this thing got built and you get to pay for your competitor. That's not capitalism. Nor is 25 million out of 45 million capitalism. Nor is living in a neighborhood where this money's getting siphoned out because police are needed in Midtown. It doesn't work. Capitalism requires that you invest money, you make a profit. Not that you suck the fucking public. This is 35 years.
If it's such a good project, just build it anyway.
35 years, which the state law says you can only have these tax captures for 20 years. So we just agreed on something that's illegal. So if you want to know if I know my business, just watch real close. It's going to be quiet for a minute, and then they're going to change the law in Lansing. It's already done. Fait accompli.
Right.
Fait accompli.
Like they did for Gilbert. Remember, he went and they changed the brownfield tax credit law for him for one of his developments. So
Yes.
you're right.
It doesn't work. Detroit's gained no greater employment for the hockey arena. Remember, remember, hockey fans who know math. Joe Louis had 700 people working there. What does fucking Little Caesars have working there? Same. Bullshitted you. Put in something smaller that can make money on its own and contribute to the revenue of Detroit. Detroit, ladies and gentlemen, 42% of human beings that live in our capital city live below the fucking poverty line. 58% of children live below the poverty line. One more. This for the suburbs. Love you. I'm one of you. When it comes to school funding, about $9,200 a year per pupil as required by law. That money is found in your property tax. Every city in this state gets the majority of their money from property tax. If your property tax can't meet the $9,200 threshold, the state of Michigan sends you the rest. When you don't raise your own money and the state comes to get it, where do they come get it? From those that have money. So if it's not deep in your heart that you care about people, just know you're paying for a billionaire who owns a casino and another billionaire that hadn't paid federal taxes in 5 fucking years. Wow. Was that too much?
That's crazy.
No, it's perfect. Much better
But
than
also, too, other cities, other municipalities around the country don't fund private developments the way Detroit does. I mean, Charlie, you've looked at some other cities and other developments. They occur and are completed in a shorter period of time. They're done based on the developer's own investment without municipal input. Like, why does Detroit feel like, you know, the unattractive girl that's got to pay for a date all the time?
Because we're stupid. Because we know office space is a thing of the past.
Yes.
We know mixed use development is a thing of the past. We know we can't make our pension payments if Biden hadn't sent us $800 and something million of bullshit money. We haven't even spent that money yet. The state hasn't spent the money yet. You think inflation's high? It's not going away. Sorry, just think about it. Just out of mutual respect. Think about it. We think a lot about it on this program. In fact, I came in here and laid down the shit to these friends of mine. Nobody does anything on their own. We all do stuff together. But we're not going to read stuff and not do stuff on our own and then ask you to drive around and listen. Derek, I hear, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. All right, fuck you. It's coming to Windsor, motherfucker. It is. Enough. Enough. It's a loser. Capitalists. And we like everybody in this program. We like pinko economists. We like Wall Street economists.
Yeah.
Anybody want to come on and shake it up, we'll do it.
That's the only way you're going to get the whole story. You got to listen to everybody. You cannot just pick one side or the other.
You got to do the math.
And do the math.
Now, I call city council tonight.
You might need another cigarette to go into this.
And I said, these tax captures, right? We're going to give you so much every year. That we're going to give them cash. That's fact. Mm-hmm. They get a cash check every year. This is supposed to be based on the amount of business that this new thing's creating. Employees, construction workers, renters, property tax increase, sales tax increase. How does that get measured? Is there a crew every year that goes through and does the actuarial business? Or is it simply an estimate arrived upon this year that'll take us through 35 years? Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Is anybody going to actually look at what this is creating? Because Stellantis didn't do it. LCA didn't do it. The skyscraper didn't do it. The book Cadillac didn't do it. And you all saw red. Red went, oh, they gave you the bullshit low-income housing. You saw red on Monday. There's no such fucking thing.
Don't exist.
No such thing. So how do you arrive at this number? They didn't know. Well, I'm not voting for anything where I don't know where there's a guaranteed revenue stream. The thought is it's an estimate that will last forever no matter what they do. Not good business.
It's like throw
But it
bad
also
money
feeds
behind
into-
bad money.
But it feeds into the emotion. They throw out things that are supposed to tap residents' emotions. Oh, this is how much it's going to generate. These are the jobs that are going to be offered to Detroiters for which they don't qualify. This is the housing that people can't afford or that Red's voucher doesn't qualify for. So it's just all of those terms that are supposed like carrots before the horse. And none of it has any substance, at all.
Okay, check. Ready? Here's how I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This little piggy was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Oh no! Don't, Charlie, don't do this.
You're talking over my zipper.
There it is.
21. See you next week.
Look at Karen. Head in hand.
I'm over here with you, Karen. I wish I could have ran out the seat right then.
Oh God!
Knowledge is power. Stay in school, kids. Tell your daughter I'm proud of her.
Keep your schlong in your pants.
I hope she didn't see that.
That was my finger.
What?
Well, good. That was my belly button.